up on News Live at 6, how a police cruiser wound up in a multi-car crash and the effects that it's having.
Plus, heavy snow is on the way to Syracuse. The National Weather Service has issued a lake-effect snow warning for Onondaga County. SU's most accurate weather forecast is coming up, and Citrus TV News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
We begin tonight with a car accident involving a police cruiser. Welcome into News Live at 6. I'm Peyton Spellacy.
And I'm Zach Richter. The crash leaving significant damage to a store nearby. Our Luke Welch joins us now live at the scene of the accident. Luke, how did this all happen?
Peyton and Zach, good evening. I'm standing outside the art store on the corner of South Crouse Avenue and Erie Boulevard. And just 3 hours ago, this parking lot was turned into a crash site. A collision between a civilian car and a police car forced the officer to hit a fire hydrant and then the entrance of the art store just behind me. Police say that there were no casualties and that the officer was taken to the hospital just after the crash, along with the mother who was driving the civilian car. Fortunately, we were told that the infant that was in the car endured no harm, but Citrus TV got an exclusive interview with a worker in the store who just minutes after the crash said he's just happy everyone's okay. Take a listen.
Just the loudest noise that you've ever heard in your life, like a train had impacted the building, and then just the sound of shattering glass and rubble kind of crumbling.
Hopes of a smooth 50-year anniversary shattered when earlier today a collision left the entrance to the art store just north of SU's campus with a gaping hole and broken glass.
I think this is another example of why we need a more walkable city, and hopefully with the 690 being retooled and 81, the whole 81 project, we'll get exactly that.
Von Suter said when he initially heard the crash, he thought it was art that had fallen and shattered, but soon he realized that the issue was much bigger.
What's most important, I think, is that nobody was hurt. The person in the car that drove into the building got right out of the car and walked away from the scene, so it definitely proves that seatbelts and airbags save lives. And now if you take a look on your screen, you're seeing the initial scene of the crash. Citrus TV guys get to learn the exact cause or who's at fault for the crash, but we'll have continued coverage as the stories unfold. The art store is still open for business, and customers are encouraged to come on down but enter through the side entrance. The art store actually just requested a repair service to their front glass doors. However, they're going to need a more serious quote for the upgraded damage. For now, reporting live in Syracuse, I'm Luke Welch, Citrus TV News. Peyton, Zach, back to you.
Luke, thanks so much for your coverage tonight. And Zach, Syracuse is going to be hit with some nasty weather. The National Weather Service announcing a lake effect snow warning.
Yeah, the warning will start tonight at 10 o'clock and will stay in effect until 7 p.m. tomorrow. Up to 12 inches of snow is possible here in Syracuse. So let's get straight to our weather anchor, Spencer Congel, who joins us live on the Citrus TV weather deck with the latest track and timing of the storm. Hey, Spencer.
Hey, Zach. Yeah, it is pretty cold out there now. Earlier today, it was up to 65 degrees. Beautiful day, though, quite rainy. Now, as you can see, the rain has died down a little bit, but it's all the way down to 40 degrees if we're looking at our temperatures right now, which is quite a lot lower than it was earlier today. And as you look into the temperatures across central New York, we're seeing about the same thing, anywhere from mid 40s to mid to lower 30s, pretty much everywhere around central New York. Now, as we move later into tonight, that's where things get worse. We're going to see a low of 20 degrees tomorrow morning, getting down there later this evening. And we're going to start to see some of that snow you guys were talking about throughout the evening tonight and into tomorrow, where we may see, like you said, up to 12 inches of snow, which compared to earlier today where it was 60 degrees and yesterday, which was a nice and beautiful sunny day, it is a lot different tomorrow, but we will be getting warmer later. That's all I've got weather for now. Zach, Peyton, back to you inside.
Okay, Spencer, thanks so much. A new study away opportunity for SU athletes is being offered this spring. The course Networking and the Art of the Pitch will be offered as a Maymester course in Los Angeles. The class is designed to help break down a common barrier faced by student athletes who are interested in studying off campus. Now, the two-week course will introduce students to the principles of communication and networking in the sports broadcasting industry. And Syracuse alumni who were students athletes are expected to serve as guest lecturers.
And there are 5 days remaining to run for the Spring Student Association 2024 election. If you're looking to become a part of the student body Or the last information session is tonight at 7 in HBC Gifford. The deadline to file a petition is on March 4th, and the elections will take place April 1st to the 5th.
And the Whitman School is hosting an open house tomorrow afternoon to celebrate the reopening of the Corey Hatchery Student Incubator. The incubator is described as a co-working space and mentorship program which supports student ventures at every stage. For more information, you can visit the SU Community Calendar website.
With the recent announcement of several performers coming to Syracuse, crowds are expected to come along with it. Our Nico Horning delves into the music scene's effect on tourism here in the Salt City.
Events such as this Foreigner concert at the end of last summer are integral to Syracuse's tourism. With the recent concert announcements this summer, such as Dan and Shay and James Taylor, the economy gets an instant boost. Visit Syracuse President Danny Liedka explains how concerts impact the Salt City.
Yeah, it's a huge boom for our tourism economy locally. Those concerts at the amphitheater, $20 to $30 million economic impact every summer. You know, I think people a lot of times will focus on the concert, but what it does for local hotels and restaurants and other ancillary businesses, the lift is just huge.
All of these key pieces towards a city's tourism took a hit during the pandemic. Liedka says the costly effects of COVID are gone.
So I think we've exceeded pre-COVID. What hasn't come back is that midweek business traveler, but the social traveler, that has exploded. So these concerts have just continued to elevate. 22 and 23 will go down as record years for tourism, and the concert stuff at the amphitheater has a big part to do with that.
The amphitheater isn't the only venue in Syracuse holding concerts in the next several months. Liedka says that just one JMA Wireless Dome concert can knock it out of the park.
Especially, you know, when you look at the caliber of artists that they're bringing in here, it attracts, you know, a lot of people that come with a higher median income, so they're going to stay longer, they're going to spend more. So it has that type of effect, and they come from all over the world, which is amazing.
Bruce Springsteen is scheduled to play in the Dome in mid-April, and Pink is set for October. But as far as the amphitheater goes, Liedka says people forget it's owned by Onondaga County.
Our county property taxes here are at the lowest level they've been since 1978. So it's things like the JMA Wireless Dome, the amphitheater. They generate sales tax. That helps keep property taxes stable or even low.
There are 15 scheduled summer concerts for the renamed Empower Federal Credit Union Amphitheater at Lakeview. Nico Horning, Citrus TV.
Okay, Nico, thanks so much. Staying in the city, tuition in colleges and universities nationwide had increased over 130% in the past 20 years. Citrus TV's Nathaniel Cunningham breaks down how local high schools are preparing students for the next level.
Nottingham High School is one of 45 high schools in New York that is a beneficiary of the Smart Scholars High School grant. The grant allows for students to take dual enrollment classes, gaining college credit in high school. Senior Academy principal at Nottingham, Leanne DeTore, says the program provides students with more than just higher education.
But the advantage of when you leave us, what it can support you in, and the skills that you learn from it, and the supports you get.
Over 60% of students that graduate with a high school degree go on to pursue collegiate education. The issue is that most colleges and universities cost over $40,000 a year. The Smart Scholar program is here to help bring that price point to a reasonable level.
I think, you know, we want people to understand, like, this is financially, this is a huge break, right? If you save a year of tuition and room and board, right, or you know, and when you think back to, okay, a year of Hudson Valley, 30 credits, okay, that's only maybe like 6 to 12 grand. Yeah, but if you're going to a private school, you're talking 75 grand, right? So you're giving yourself a better opportunity to be able to afford that kind of stuff and not walk out of there in drowning in debt.
The Smart Scholar program can give the students up to 60 credits or 2 years worth of college education. To put that into perspective, after 4 years out of college, the average student leaves with roughly $35,000 of debt. With 2 years of college, students average just under $10,000 of debt. Nathaniel Cunningham, Citrus TV News.
Okay, Nathaniel, thank you. Still ahead tonight at 6, a major announcement from the Senate today about Mitch McConnell. Find out what the senator said.
Plus, the solar eclipse is just a few months away. What you can do to stay safe. Stay with us.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed.
I had an opportunity along with a group of senators to have a dinner last night with the Chancellor of
Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Urgent agree on. And as I've said repeatedly,
You're watching CitrusTV News live at 6 with Peyton Spellacy, Zach Richter, and Spencer Congel. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Welcome back to Live at 6. A New York State Assembly and Senate has approved a new congressional map. The redistricting plan has signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul and will take effect in the 2024 election cycle. New York 22 was the district with the most change, which includes Syracuse, represented by Republican Brandon Williams.
The new maps add Cortland and Auburn to the district. And now if you take a look at the map on your screen, it's the new configuration of the district, which voted for Biden by more than 11 percentage points in the last election.
The maps were proposed by Democrats and voted for by 13 Assembly Republicans and 3 Republicans in the Senate.
but Father Time remains undefeated. I'm no longer the young man sitting in the back, hoping colleagues would remember my name. It's time for the next generation of leadership.
That's Mitch McConnell. Today he announced that he's stepping down as the Senate GOP leader in November. He is the longest serving Senate party leader.
McConnell will continue to serve out the rest of his term, which ends in January 2027. The reevaluation for his career comes after he lost his sister-in-law in a car accident.
And after the break, I'll have your full 5-day forecast and a March look back. Stay with us.
Women are bad with money.
That's what the world's been saying for centuries.
But now, we've got something to say.
Save it. Save the old-fashioned advice, the empty excuses.
It's all worthless, unlike us.
To our fellow females, it is time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Contributing to our futures, investing in our independence.
Until we're no longer 80%
more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
So again, we say to that,
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault. Then the funds.
learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
from the CitrusTV Weather Center. This is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. As we take a look at our 5-day forecast here, tomorrow, as you can see, it is going to be quite chilly, especially compared to the last 2 days, down to 20 degrees, where we also may see some of that snow that we saw in that winter storm warning that we have coming in a little bit. However, after Thursday, things start to warm up again, and they show no signs of cooling back down, at least for the next week or so. On Friday, should be a nice sunny day, 50 degrees. Saturday, 60% chance of some rain, but still pretty warm. And then as we get to Sunday and Monday, things are still going to be pretty warm, even warmer, up to 64 degrees on Monday, which is about the high that we saw today, which felt pretty nice if it weren't for all that rain. Maybe a day more like yesterday with that sun peeking out a little bit will be a bit more pleasant. Now, if we look now into what our temperatures were looking like last March, we see an interesting story here. Not too high of a temperature difference, a high of 59 degrees towards the middle of March here, and a low of only 20 degrees, not too low compared to what we saw in February. The interesting thing about this chart here is we're expecting to break this high temperature within the first couple days of March. So I'm expecting March to be a bit warmer of a month than it was last year and to stay kind of consistently warm, maybe not quite as warm as it is today in these next few days, but still pretty warm. That's all for weather for now. Peyton and Zach, back to you.
Okay, Spencer, thank you. While folks may be getting excited for the upcoming solar eclipse, experts say that residents should be vigilant to make sure they're staying safe during this year's festivities.
CitrusTV's Tyler O'Donnell joins us here at the desk. Tyler, what are experts saying?
Well, hey, thanks you guys so much. Experts are saying that while the eclipse may seem fun, if you don't take the right precautions, the consequences could be dire.
It's going to concentrate all the rays around the periphery. And when it concentrates it almost becomes like a laser.
Those are the words of Dr. Eugene Gullingsrud. He's an ophthalmologist in Minnesota. He says that while the eclipse may be fun to look at, it could cause major damage.
In some people, cause permanent blindness, or at the very least affect clarity of vision or color vision for hours, if not days.
In order to avoid all that damage, though, you're going to need one of these. These are solar eclipse glasses. Their lenses are specifically tinted to block the sun's harmful UV rays. But the Better Business Bureau is warning that you should know what you're buying.
Online purchase scams are so prevalent these days, so you want to make sure that you're buying glasses from a legitimate source.
Sites like Amazon or Wish.com have hundreds of different listings for solar eclipse glasses. But how do you make sure that the glasses you're buying are going to protect you?
They should have this on the side that says they're ISO certified, and then it should also have instructions for use on the other side.
Solar glasses aren't the only opportunity for scammers to get the drop on you, though. During previous eclipses, scammers have put up fake listings for hotels and other travel-based services to fool people looking to see the event. The biggest piece of advice the BBB could give us is to stay vigilant.
Looking someone up on bbb.org or reading reviews, taking some time to look into the company itself, how long they've existed, and what other customers have experienced, that could end up saving you a lot of headaches in the long run.
Well, Tyler, they told us a little bit about how to know if you have the right glasses, but you have a little bit more information about how to identify that, right?
Absolutely. So as you said in the story, you have to make sure you're buying them from the right people. And the American Aeronautical Association does have their own website where you can actually see a list of approved vendors, but alongside that, you can also just check the side of the glasses for that ISO marking she talked about. And if you have the glasses already, you can put them on inside, and if you can see anything through them, anything at all, you should get a new pair, because these you really shouldn't be seeing much indoors.
Okay, Tyler, thanks so much. AJ, what's coming up in sports?
Number 7, Syracuse spins across, and number 5, Army just got underway from the Dome. I will talk to our lacrosse beat reporter, Luke Burgess, to hear how the group is doing on the other side.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Jason, let's go see your room.
That's not right. How is it? Is it good?
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they... And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Hello everyone, welcome to sports. I'm AJ Myers. After a victory over Utah last Wednesday, number 7 Syracuse men's lacrosse plays its second top 10 matchup of the year against number 5 Army. Right now, our Luke Burgess is outside the JMA Wireless Dome to give us an update on how Gary Gape's group is doing.
Hey, AJ, thanks so much. And outside the JMA Wireless Dome here, they're proving why they play the early season games inside the dome, because right now it's raining sideways behind me. It was almost 70 degrees yesterday. This isn't the weather, though. So let's take a look at tonight's matchup and take a look at the season that has been so far for Syracuse men's lacrosse. It starts, of course, tonight with Army, Syracuse and Army duking one out in the first quarter right now. So let's take a look back at what got us to this point. Opening game of the season, a 20-7 steamrolling win over Vermont. Joey Spallina, Christian Muley, that seems like a connection that is going to pay major dividends for Syracuse down the line once they get into conference play. One of the issues last year, of course, the face-offs were a problem. Mason Cohn seems to have solved that problem. But another thing that was a huge problem, Syracuse, they didn't have the ball enough to score. And when they did have the opportunities, there was so much pressure on the attackmen that sometimes they just couldn't get it done. The duo of Spallina and Muley seems to have really reignited this offense. So far, Joey Spallina is leading the nation in assists through 5 games on the season. So a great start for the sophomore. Move to game 2 against Colgate. That was a game that both teams described as extra physical, but nonetheless, Syracuse moves to 2-0 on the year. You move to game 3 against Manhattan, and Syracuse really exposed the Manhattan defense that no longer had John O'Dearna. O'Dearna now the defensive coordinator on the Syracuse side, so a little bit of a revenge game, and he certainly got his revenge against the Jaspers. You move against to Maryland, easily the highest caliber matchup aside from tonight of this season, and a controversial ending. Michael Leo, was he pushed into the goal mouth? Was he not? Well, the goal didn't count. Maryland wins it 13-12 in overtime. And then you move forward to Utah, another steamrolling, back to the old form. It looked like Syracuse takes a massive W. That brings us to tonight, a massive matchup against Army in the Dome. We'll have some more coverage for you later tonight on CitrusTV Sports on Twitter.
Just check the score of that game, and Army is on top 4-3. Be sure to follow Burgess Luke 03 on X for continued live updates. Moving over to the hardwood, Syracuse men's basketball took down Virginia Tech last night 84-71. And how about the play from the guards? Sophomore Judah Mintz got another 20-plus point performance of the year for the 14th time this season, and his backcourt mate J.J. Starling chipped in with 13 points. Head coach Adrian Autry felt this was the team's most complete performance of the year.
On 34 field goals, that's probably the most assists we had this year on field goals. But again, we played really well. 7 turnovers. Again, most complete game we played all year. I can go down through the stat sheet, and I'm sure that someone will find something to say. But I was just really pleased with the way our team played today.
That's all from sports, guys. Back to you.
Okay, AJ, thanks so much. When we come back, our Matt Lesnick has the story of a VPA student making a short film. We'll be right back.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew a girl so smart, so responsible, she must be a keeper.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving. I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Welcome back. I got one look at your wake-up weather here. As you can see, temperatures are going to stay in those low to upper 20s here. And we will see a bit of that snow that we're going to see tonight into tomorrow morning. It's going to finish up that lake effect warning that we've got and stay pretty consistently cold throughout the day. That's all I've got in weather today. Zach, over to you.
Just absolute craziness with the weather temperature. Spencer, thank you. A VPA student is in the process of making a short film, but it's a little different than those of his peers. Citrus TV's Matt Lesnick has the story.
That's one of the shots that we got.
Making art should be fun. At least that's what VPA student Andrew Busby thinks. The junior from Bernardsville, New Jersey usually specializes in special effects, but decided it was time to make his own film.
A bunch of my classmates were coming to me and asking me to do VFX for their films. I got to junior and I was like, I didn't really have much that I was super proud of. So I decided to make this film.
The film is called Action Sequence, and as the name implies, it's an action movie. He went with the genre because he noticed a theme in films amongst his peers, and he wanted to stray away from that.
I have always loved art that didn't take itself seriously, funny art, or art that didn't, hold up this kind of serious, style.
Busby wanted the film to play to his strengths and make it shine where he shines.
Editing and visual effects, that's what I do for fun. That's what I do on my off time. As an artist, I haven't really felt ready to make super emotional things yet. I think I just have to live more in order to kind of tap into that. But I am good at making people laugh.
The goal was to have fun with it, a goal that he seems to be achieving.
If there isn't a message or an underlying theme, I think I just want people to have fun watching it, and if that happens, that'll make me happy.
Matt Lesnick, Citrus TV News.
That's pretty cool. I love that last line. He just wants people to be happy if they watch it. Have you ever made a short film?
I haven't. Spencer, what about you?
No, not other than a project for a class, not really.
Okay.
I'm more into watching them.
Watching.
Oh,
your roommate,
Yeah,
though.
my roommate made a short film, but yeah, I stick to the broadcasting.
What was it about? Anything good?
I couldn't tell you, honestly. He just I let him do his thing. So.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, we're used to messing with cameras around here, so yeah. That's all the time we have for News Live at 6 this Wednesday night.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Zach Richter.
And I'm Peyton Spellacy. Have a great night, Syracuse, and join us next week on Wednesday night.